Valerie, there have been no letters from you for 2 weeks now. Have they been lost by the postal service, or you are perhaps dead? Well, that would at least be a good excuse.
No, Sasha, I'm not dead. Much to your father's chagrin, I imagine. We have been constantly on the move, and to find even a few minutes of peace has been, well nigh impossible.
Father has been asking about you. I think he is genuinely concerned, though I know you don't believe me. I sometimes doubt you believe anything I say.
Your father would like Vladimir's nephew Nikolai. The man's idealism and zeal rivals that of the most fervent religious believer. Poor boy. One day he will realize the shame of it all.
How is old Vladimir? You know I hold him in high regard. But please, ask him to speed things up and win this damn war. I am sick and tired of constant shortages.
Of course. If I just ask Volodya, he will win the war for us in an instant. Not a problem, my dear.
And listen to Vladimir. He has at least a semblance of morals compared to you, my dear. And don't die on me. Who would I then quarrel with? Your Alexandra.
Yesterday, the Southern Factory Collectives reported production levels far exceeding the quota set for the period. The General Secretary conveyed his heartfelt pride to be the leader of such an industrious people. Yesterday also brought news of a minor skirmish involving NATO infiltrators. They were swiftly hunted down by our...
We were still in Norway when we heard the news. Several NATO battalions had been airdropped inside our country. And I think many of us were shaken to the core that day. Our image of the invulnerable motherland cracked in a way that could not be easily mended. Captain Malishchenko loudly proclaimed that he would smear the ground red with the blood of the NATO bastards who had dared to enter our homeland. The colonel tried to calm us, saying that there would be bloodshed soon enough. But we didn't settle down until we had boarded the planes back home. Our fiery rage doused with cold determination, and vengeance foremost on our mind.
If they were here half an hour ago, we don't have long before they arrive. Understand? Romanov must move immediately.
Товарищ полковник.
What?
A message.
Now? Very well.
What is it, Uncle?
Kolya, it's your wife.
Masha?
She...
Что?
They're dead, Kolya. She and your daughter. Killed yesterday when the Americans raided Serbryansk. I'm so sorry.
Sorry. You're at war. They died for the state. They died for socialism. I'm proud.
You have my deepest
I
sympathy.
don't want sympathy. I want leaders with the courage to prevent NATO from walking into our soil.
Kolya, we're dealing with a strong adversary.
Then we must be stronger.
Comrade Colonel, our forward scouts report inbound NATO helicopters.
Where the hell is Romanov at the Shilkas? Kolya, can I count on you?
Let them come, Uncle. Let them come.
Just as the plans we found indicated, the Russians hit our naval yards at Little Creek in Norfolk.
Listen up, there's been a change of plan. Spetsnaz commandos have staged an attack in New York. They've captured a lot of gear and a bunch of VIP hostages. We're going in to rescue them.
How are we going to...
Not you, Captain. You'll be in support during this mission. And then I'm having you transferred out of the battalion.
But sir,
I just don't know where to send you. preferably somewhere far away as possible. Parker, I got your request for leave to visit your family in Seattle. Think Bannon would like it up there? I'm sure I can find a supply depot that needs a desk jockey.
Sir.
Now get ready. We'll be landing in 10 minutes. Order the strike.
But it's the Statue of Liberty, sir.
And this is war, son. Do it!
Eagle 6 says we are go mission. I repeat, we are go mission. They're on their way, sir.
Good. Now get me Lieutenant Parker.
Yes, sir.
I see green smoke! Tell them to abort, damn it!
This is Eagle 6! Abort! Abort! Abort!
Good work, Parker.
You have one new message.
You've reached Charles Davis and Harriet Manning. Leave a message after the beep and we'll get back to you.
Hey, Mom, it's Mark. I just thought I'd call to let you know I'm alright, but, I guess you're out, so... We've been fighting in the mountains for a while now. It's cold. Almost as cold as it was in Russia. Food's scarce, too. Funny thing, you wouldn't think food would be a problem when you're fighting in your own country, but there aren't many stores around here, and most of them have been looted clean. Anyway, we're holed up in a small town called Cascade Falls, and it looks like there's going to be a big battle tomorrow. Commies are coming at us with everything they got. We can't let them through, because if we do, it'll all be over. I wish I could explain, but it's kind of a secret. I'm gonna do good tomorrow, though. God knows I've screwed things up before, and I probably should have stayed out of the Army in the first place instead of signing up because of what I thought Dad would think. Well, that doesn't really matter now. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do good, no matter what it takes. Take care, okay? Bye, Mom. I love you.
As the mushroom cloud above Cascade Falls slowly dissipated behind us, we fought on in a blasted wasteland with trees singed black by the wave of searing heat. But at least we were alive. Bannon and the men in his company were not. Their sacrifice had been the key to stopping the Russians, and now Fort Teller was safe. We had to destroy the town in order to save it. But back then, I think the irony of that was lost upon us. The EMP from the nuclear blast had effectively silenced the radios, and what was left of our battalion was scattered over the surrounding countryside. We lost contact with the colonel early on. It soon became every man for himself as we tried to get reorganized and fight off Russian stragglers at the same time. The blast had been more powerful than anyone could have imagined. We thought the worst thing that could possibly have happened just had. Little did we know what was to come.
Alpha 6 to Bravo 6. Mike! Has anyone seen my friend Corporal Thompson? Hey, you! Have you seen my friend Corporal Thompson?
Hey, Ants! Over here!
What's up, man? What's up? There you are! I've been looking for your sorry butt all over. Where have you been?
You tell me, man. We were driving out of Cascade Falls. Next thing you know, I'm lying on a stretcher. Medic says I'm gonna be alright, though.
Did you hear about Bannon and Charlie Company?
Yeah, those poor brave bastards.
You need to get off. We're leaving.
Hey, thanks for coming to see me, Ants.
You! I just wanted that fancy new CD player of yours!
Go the hell! I'll meet you at the rallying point!
Later!
You people told me they would sit this one out.
That was based on the intelligence that we had at the time, Mr. President.
I don't think anyone in this damn government has any intelligence. So they're coming here? What do you propose we do to stop them?
We have two options, sir. Pull 2 divisions from Europe and send them to retake Seattle before the Chinese arrive.
But then we lose Europe and the war.
In all probability, yes.
What's the other option?
We wait until the Chinese come ashore.
Then hit them with a B-83 strategic nuclear device.
Hit them after they're ashore. Ashore in Seattle.
Yes, sir.
So, you're suggesting we wipe one of our major cities off the map?
It's our cleanest shot to destroy the Chinese, Mr. President. Otherwise, we risk losing everything.
What forces do we have around Seattle now?
A couple of battered battalions. The ones that stopped the Russians at Cascade Falls.
But not enough to retake the city.
We could order them to try, but I wouldn't get my hopes up, sir.
Order those battalions to attack, General. And if they fail, as a last resort, order the nuclear strike.
Mr. President, I'm sorry that it's come to this.
Sorry. Yeah. That's all, General.
As we were catching our collective breath and trying to reorganize, word came down that China had finally entered the war as an ally of the Soviet Union. The Chinese invasion fleet was steaming towards Seattle, planning to use the Russian beachhead to get ashore. The USS Missouri had been sunk a week earlier off the coast of British Columbia, and there wasn't much left of our Pacific fleet to stop the Chinese. So we moved west towards Seattle and the main Soviet defense perimeter. Webb said the men needed to rest for at least a day, but the colonel pushed us on, saying we had to see this thing to the end before it was too late. Later, when we learned about the president's backup plan, we understood why.
That would wipe out the entire city.
That will be our only option if you fail.
Understood, General. We'll do what it takes. Eagle 6 out. It's a new war we're fighting, Corporal. I'm not sure I fit in anymore.
Sir?
Never mind. Get over here. We have to achieve a breakthrough today. The President has ordered a nuclear bomb dropped on Seattle if the Chinese manage to come ashore.
Seattle, sir?
It'll make our failure at Cascade Falls look like a Cub Scout picnic.
But we didn't fail at Cascade Falls, sir.
When I'm forced to sacrifice a company of my men and drop a nuclear weapon on my own country, call it a goddamn failure. I won't let it happen again. Assemble the men. You'll get your orders shortly. Get us to the CP, and step on it!
Yes, sir.
Come in, Volodya. Please, have a seat.
Is that thing on?
No. Don't worry about it. These tapes will be gathering dust deep down in some basement.
Shut it off.
But...
Vyklúči, Valeri.
As you wish, Colonel.
There is no room for the truth on that machine.
That's a dangerous word, Volodya. Truth. Such an ambiguous concept.
Stop it, Valeri. We are defeated here. I know it and you know it too.
I'm afraid that Moscow cannot accept...
I am not talking to Moscow. I am talking to you.
And what exactly are you telling me?
That I did not bring my men to America to commit mass suicide. And what is coming, I will need you with me.
You can count on me, Volodya.
I hope so, Valeri. Now, put that thing on and we'll get this done.
Very well. Interview number 478, subject, Colonel Vladimir Orlov.
In his address to the party congress, the General Secretary spoke of sacrifices made and sacrifices yet to come. But he emphasized that there is no doubt that we are winning this war and that the end is in sight.
It was a rout. Our scattered forces headed for Seattle, and the relief we hoped we would find there. To use a nuclear bomb on one's own country, it was insanity on a scale unmatched even by our own generals. It also destroyed what dreams we had left of ever achieving victory in America. If it hadn't been for the Colonel, we wouldn't have known about Cascade Falls at all. Based on the communiques from Moscow, all was as fine as could be. And now that the Chinese had declared themselves our allies, victory was supposedly within reach. Again. But we knew better.
If we go to Seattle, we'll die in Seattle. The Americans will never allow the Chinese to land. We saw in Cascade Falls how far they are willing to go.
What exactly are you saying?
We're not going to Seattle. I've made preparations to take the men home. A ship is expecting us at this location tonight.
What? And betray our country?
It's the right thing to do. I'll accept full responsibility.
Were you aware of this?
He's not in command here. I am. Please try to understand, Nikolai.
I am Captain Maloshenko of the Soviet Army, and you are acting like a traitor.
I'm doing this for the men, Kolya.
Those men don't belong to you. They belong to the state. My wife and daughter didn't die so that you can turn tail and run.
But we don't belong here. This entire venture has been a full...
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. He was a traitor.
I'm taking my company to Seattle.
I'll bring the battalion. To victory.
To victory.
Time to choose, old friend. To all Sokol elements, this is Major Lebedev. The Colonel is dead. I am taking command. They say you're asking me for papers.
I'm sorry, Comrade Major, but since Colonel Arlovsky is dead, I can't...
Captain!
Without
Do you know who Comrade Minister Kravchenko is?
Of course. He is the Minister of Defense.
And my father-in-law. Do this, and I'll make sure you're duly rewarded for your selfless service to the state.
Major, without some confirmation, I simply
And then again, I could just have my men shoot you. Perhaps your second in command is more willing to listen.
We'll leave with the tide.
Good choice. Tell the men.